episode 2 of the LVLG podcast. We're here with our man Shane Holler. Do you want to do a quick introduction? Real quick. Yeah.
All right. I'm Shane Holler. I compete in the 308 weight class. I have a world record squat. I've been with LVLG for about a year, and yeah.
So I'm going to give you a couple quick fire rapid questions. Where are you from?
Massachusetts originally. I moved to Florida in 2005. So like when I was in 5th grade.
What do you do for a living?
Just telling Nick, I work for a homeowners insurance company, Progressive, as an underwriter. Sounds fancy, but it's like just email processing work. I don't have to talk to people, sit at home and eat water, eat food, drink water all day. It's pretty nice.
How old are you?
29.
Do you have any siblings?
I got 2. Sister.
Are they single?
Yeah.
Are you single?
No, I have a girlfriend. She's on the bike right over there.
Yeah, I think I knew that, but now everyone listening knows that the most handsome powerlifter of all time is taken.
Sheesh.
Yeah, unfortunately, every girl listening, my guy's locked down currently.
So we did this with Chad last week. This is kind of like the boring shit, but give us your quick powerlifter intro, like your best numbers, your next meet. Keep it real short because then we'll have fun and talk about other stuff.
I got a 23:47 total in sleeves, 925 world record squat. Looking to do a meet hopefully in October, and then I got another one signed up for in April in Texas. So something coming up at some point.
Just whenever your body actually feels like cooperating.
Yeah, it's been a rough off season, just kind of feeling a little banged up, but that kind of lets you just focus on other stuff and kind of get outside the gym. Makes you just enjoy everything else and not just kind of be too focused on this,
That's what happens when you're doing like 5x5s of like 800-pound squats and
3/8, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, all those heavy sets of like 600 for 12 and stupid rep work you were doing. It was unreal.
I was just telling him, it's not as heavy as you would think as far as like percentage wise. So, I mean, it's not as crazy. Like I don't touch like nothing but 90%, maybe once a couple weeks out before the meet. So maybe twice a year. So not too often, but.
Right. But I mean, you see one person do a set of 600 for 12, you're doing 3-4 sets of that, it's, in Florida, especially, you're just
sweating. Well, I squat with Craig too. So it's like, whatever I'm doing, he's doing like 50 more pounds, sweating twice as much. So.
That's the weight easier for Craig, the reps much harder for Craig.
Yeah.
He's also just a sweaty dude.
Yeah.
We got a fan that's like one of those big jumbo fans in here. And it's like, whenever we used to squat in the summer, like now it's like we get 2 folding chairs, throw all of our shit in front of the fan, like we're like unloading to camp or whatever. 2 big jugs of water, a couple towels, and like a big thing of Gatorade. And we're like scooping that stuff in between sets, probably like 3 or 4 scoops of workout or whatever. I mean, we get pretty gross in here, pretty nasty.
So when you mentioned that world record squat, do you want to talk about how you actually made it onto our team now that you have me and Nick together?
So it's a pretty cool story in the sense that I did the showdown meet in 2020 in Kansas City, and I met both of you guys at the meet, and afterward we kind of hung out. And then you had reached out to me after the fact and about wanting to be on the team and stuff. Right around that time, I was moving to Colorado, and I was just trying to get away from lifting for a little bit. So got off Instagram, and I just kind of told you the deal, and it was kind of that. And then I see both you guys in April at the Kern, and I'm talking to, we're hanging out at the bar. I talked to Nick a little bit, and he said the offer was kind of still on the table or whatever. Just talk to him, when everything was, if I did get back into it. And so then, right around July of that next year, I'm kind of starting to feel like training again. I'm signed up for the meet, and I shoot you a DM on Instagram. I think the funny part was I shot you that message, and then like it was like on red for a little bit, and I was like, oh no, it's not on the table anymore, the offer's gone. And then you responded, and we kind of talked and kind of worked out a thing where it was 3 or 4 big meets have gone by, so you guys have taken a few more people on the team. So as stacked as we are, you were just kind of like, well, we took a few people on. I'm not saying like it's an offer, but like, say you hit like a certain number, like a goal set, kind of coming up here, what would that be? You know what I mean? I threw out a number, and it was kind of just like, dangling the carrot. You're like, well, you hit this, you have a good meet, we might be able to talk. And that was all I needed,
Nick almost made me the bad guy in that moment because I was rooting for you the whole time. I was like, yo, this guy is legit. And Nick's like, yeah, tell him if he hits, it was 2,200 or whatever it was. Got a spot on the team right away.
There's just certain people that doing something like that, like the kind of person that wants that carrot and wants to go actually chase it down and get it. It's like, that's the kind of person we want. You know, that's like the right attitude. The people that feel like, well, I deserve this anyways. It's like, I mean, you might, but
you never want like a handout.
Still,
you know what I mean?
I mean, we've done that with like a few people where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a given, like the spot's there for you no matter what, but you just kind of like throw out something fun is like, oh, here's like the extra carrot, like go get this. And then you get the spot when it's like, you're getting it regardless, but you'll feel better about it if you feel like you went and actually earned it on the platform.
Well, I was like super, I mean, like at that point I had taken off, you know, lifting for a while and just, I've kind of gotten away from it. So I was super fired up just to get back into it. So just like, that was like the sprinkles on top. I was just like, all right, like I'm going to have a great meet, you know what I mean? And
I think I actually gave
solid.
I think I actually gave you a singlet at that meet, and I was like, "Put this on."
So I showed up, and because you had sent me like a little care package before, you're like, "Oh, here's just some stuff, you know, like just enjoy. You don't have to tag us or whatever. Just here's some stuff." And so I go out there, and I show up in like my other singlet for the other sponsor I have, Sovereign Powerlifting, and you're just like, "Where's your singlet?" And I was like, "I didn't bring it. I wasn't sure it was going." You're like, "Oh no." And then like right before deadlifts, I threw it on. You're like, "Here, throw this on." And I rip up that last deadlift, and that was 2303, and that was the number we had agreed upon.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Then it was just kind of in from there.
And Nick and I actually had a side bet going on because I think, was it your third attempt squat?
So I squatted 903 on my third, and I went for the world record.
Yeah, you went for your
my fourth. And Nick was like, "He's not gonna get it," and you're just like, "No, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it." Like you were Team Shane, and he was just like $20. And then
we started betting money, and I'm playing with his money because I had all the LVLG cash in my pocket from the booth, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, just pay yourself, you know. It could have gone either way that day, but you know, just seeing you, because also I don't think a lot of people knew who you were at that meet either. So
I wouldn't say like I'm a big social media guy, like by any means. Like I don't really post a whole lot on there or anything like that. So I think you know, it's kind of cool when you show up to those meets like that. Like the year before, like no one knew who Craig or I was. Like we were on the roster and stuff, and then you know, you just show out and everyone's like, "Who the fuck are these people?" You know what I mean? And so like
exactly, and like you said, after taking such a long time off to come back.
Oh yeah, no Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah.
Second biggest total next to TD. So I mean, that was it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, you were off playing Pokemon or something. What were you doing?
Dude, Pokemon, hiking, enjoying the state flower of Colorado. You know, it was great. So
yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but you're a big Pokemon fan.
It's probably the thing I've done like the longest in my life, which is kind of like goofy. Like I mean, playing it like on and off since I was like 8 years old, and I think like it's something that like I don't know. In a weird way, it kind of like you get into like they got me into a position where I think like I was able to hyper focus on powerlifting the same way I did with that. Like you kind of like evolve through things, you know what I mean? Like as far as you know, you play Pokemon for a little bit, and then in high school you start playing a sport, you get into that, you get a little more into like football, wrestling, and just like the amount of time I dumped into these games is like hundreds of hours, you know what I mean? And I think
you did like actual legitimate competition stuff?
Oh no, dude! Like I'm just a weeb at home. I'm sitting on a beanbag playing Pokemon. But like that's like my relaxing thing. Like I'm not like a big like I mean like you know reading books or whatever else like that. Like kind of unwinding.
What's your best card though? What's the best card? I know that shit's worth literally a ton of money.
It's all the video games, so that's what I would have. But
here. So the first
video game Pokemon.
Oh, there's video game Pokemon. It's like a whole deal. Yeah.
All right. So
I'm like big in the games.
The first game that came out was it Red and Blue, I think.
Yeah,
that was when it first came out. Yeah. So who was the Pokemon that you picked? Because I think you got to pick.
Oh, I got a Squirtle, and then that was a Blastoise, and then that's not probably like my if I were to go play that back, I'd probably get like a Bulbasaur and get a Venusaur because grass types are pretty solid. But it's like I don't know, it's an obscure thing. Like you look at me and you're like, oh, that's a big dude, and like he's all into powerlifting and everything else like that. Like I'm super into Pokemon. I love my cats. Like I'm very like I don't know, like not surface level kind of guy as far as you look at me and like you're like, oh, he's probably like this. And just like,
you'd be like, no, this guy has 3 pit bulls and just loves chugging beer and eating burgers, and that's all he does besides lifting weights, right? It's like that's which I guess the chugging beer is applicable, but
right. I could have joined.
How many cats do you have?
So at the most I've had 4 in my life. I have 2 right now. We're actually house sitting one for my grandparents, so I have 3 at the house. So they're like 9 pounds a piece and they run my life. It's kind of ridiculous.
Are they all neutered?
Yeah, for sure. Kiko had hers. He's a male and he was a stray, so he gets like his ear clipped and everything. And then mine was fixed since I got her and everything. But yeah, they're great, dude. They throw up all over the place and they act like they don't even know you, but you're just like obsessed with them and you try and make them happy. Like
they're nice to you like once a day.
yeah, dude, you're
like,
so
"That's all I
grateful
need."
for that once a day. Like
Yeah, I only asked because my brother had a shitty apartment years ago, and like 2 of his roommates, and I think he had 2 or 3 cats, and a few months later, now he's got like 30 cats because they all just started fucking each other, and it was
30.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, his house has
it was
to
an exaggeration, but I mean, it was at least
boxes.
it was 20 cats or something, and my mom and I were just like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I feel like, I mean, I'm someone that had 4. Like, if you have like 5, like that's pushing it. Like, your house is
Yeah.
gonna be a little messed up if you're doing
No,
all
that
that.
was always so. When I used to tour with bands, that was like the thing.
Mhm.
If we walked into a house, it was like, all right, we're just crashing on people's couches and shit. We walk in and see a litter box, we're like, fuck. Like that's the biggest bum out thing you could ever see walking into someone's house, because these are like punk kids and stuff.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
yeah,
they ain't taking care of shit. Like so that's literally the biggest bummer of all time. So I think I'm just like scarred on cats forever.
Oh,
just
dude.
from that. Like I'm out.
I hate cats.
Dogs only.
Yeah.
You got that big old fluffy dog, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. I'm allergic to cats, but
Oh,
yeah,
really? So the dog's like hypoallergenic too, or
yeah. I mean, yeah, he's a golden doodle,
Doodle.
so
it's
yeah.
a doodle?
That was the only compromise to getting a dog, man. My wife was like, because I would have rescued a pit bull or gotten a German Shepherd or something. She's like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. They shed, and she doesn't like the fur, on her Lululemon pants. So she's like, how about a golden doodle?
Lululemon. I get that stuff all the time.
The first time I like looked up one of these dogs online, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm buying a golden doodle, because I was like, this is just not my dog.
I was gonna. Is it like you're like, oh, it's not like a dude dog. Like no dude has like a
The pictures,
doodle.
well, the pictures I was seeing, a lot of the pictures that were popping up on Google were like mini doodles. So
Yeah.
I was like, and then I started seeing more that looked more like golden retrievers, and I was like, okay, I could get down with that,
Yeah.
And he looks like a golden retriever, and he's a great dog, but yeah, no cats for me.
Okay.
No, never. Back to the Pokemon thing, man. Do you do like Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah. So like that's like, you don't want to be that person that's like walking around like always on their phone. Like you just like, oh, that's that typical millennial on their phone. But like I'll go on walks in the mornings and stuff, dude. And I'm just like this, like you try like to make sure the neighbors don't see you or whatever, like keeping, like get by a car.
So my one employee at the one pizza shop has literally been trying for months to get the one pizza shop set up as a whatever, like a stop
gym,
or whatever for the Pokemon Go.
Dude, I don't even know how
like,
you would go about that. That's crazy.
It's a crazy process. He's been working on it for months, and apparently it's like close to happening.
That's gonna bring business. You're gonna get a bunch of people with their phone, just like, oh shit, pizza.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, it's like a marketing thing. He's like, people literally just show up because it's like a gym, whatever. So when we get the Pokemon gym, then you can actually come up to the pizza shop.
Dude, I gotta make it up to like the fall brawl or something like that, either this year or next year, just to try
whenever fall brawl happens again.
Well, dude, I just gotta get up there to try the pizza, man. That's like the whole deal.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, so everyone needs to come. Eventually, we'll be doing more events up our way. It's like, all right, cool. We'll bring you guys up, bring everyone up, come hang, whatever, and then do fun stuff up there. But now that we actually have like a good home base to do it, it's like, oh, Kevin's literally the warehouse Kevin's in is behind the dining room of the pizza shop.
Oh, no way, building. Really? Okay.
Yeah. So
that's
we have the compound. It's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Brunswick, Ohio.
You just got to plan your trip accordingly, because if you're trying to make weight, if you're staying in the 308, Nick will put 20 pounds on you in one sitting.
Dude, that's the place to go right after weigh-ins, though. Then
yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, that was always the fall brawl move. It's like, all right, cool. After weigh-ins, like, so we would do like a warehouse sale. Always like, all right, weigh in, come eat, buy stuff, whatever. Great, cool. Show
just
up.
Load up. What's like your go-to pizza? Like the one you recommend to everyone that come out? Pepperoni, straight up.
Everyone. So people come in the shop and they're like, all right, they see
What's this crazy
me, they're like, all right, what should I get? What do you recommend? I go pepperoni, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, expect me to have some crazy answer. It's like, and there's always some like oddball specialty. Like, right now it's like a gyro pie is the special one. Like,
we have like a Thanksgiving one, don't you?
Yeah, Thanksgiving one's the best one. It's like full Thanksgiving dinner on pizza, turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, comes with cranberry sauce on the side. It's nuts, and that's normally going when fall brawl's going. But it's everyone always just like really bummed with my answer when I'm like, oh, just pepperoni, and they're like, but why? That's boring. It's like, because that's how you can actually tell if I know how to make
I was
pizza.
gonna say, like, that's the
it.
most
Like,
basic
yeah.
pizza. If that one just like floors you,
Yep.
then like
Yep.
it's gotta be legit.
Yeah. No, if a shop can't make like cheese, like whatever your usual go-to, cheese or pepperoni, if a shop
Yeah.
can't make that, it's like, all right, cool, they can't make pizza. And then you can hide mediocre pizza behind a good idea
Bunch of
for
like,
pizza.
yeah.
You know, like the Thanksgiving pizza. Throw all that shit on like mediocre dough, mediocre cheese. What doesn't fucking matter? It's still gonna be good as hell. It's just Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but if you make it on, you know, the ingredients matter less the more stuff you kind of have going on. You know,
Okay.
you're eating for the idea more than you're eating for the ingredients.
Like
at
the
that point.
water's like super important with the dough and everything too.
No,
And it's
that's
like,
kind of bullshit.
is it really?
Yes, that whole like, so why pizza's so good in New York is that they have 100 years of like pizza history and
Yeah,
culture
yeah,
there.
yeah. Like
So
pizza sensei teaching like little
That's
people
it.
going
So
on
there's
all the way down.
generation
Yeah.
after generation after generation that have all been like learning and improving and going. And like as a talent pool, like with powerlifting, right? The talent pool increases. There's more powerlifters now than ever, and records are going crazy. So in New York, the pizza talent pool is gigantic.
It's like a pizza
So
jungle.
the
Everyone's just like,
quality is
yeah.
fucking crazy. It's like an average shop in New York smokes the best shop in basically any town in the country because the talent pool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's the same sort of
They're
thing.
not good, they're going
Yeah,
out.
that's why I open shops in Ohio, because the bar is real low. So it's, you know, you hardly have to try. It's a piece of cake, but yeah, that's it. But
And if you do come, like a lot of times people come and it's their first time showing up, and I always tell people, Nick will say the exact same thing. You have to get a regular pizza. If you're gonna get like a crazy like Thanksgiving pie, you also have to get a plain cheese or a pepperoni, because
Yeah.
you know that is the true pizza, right? You
no,
know,
people will come in and it's like, oh, their first time, and they get like a pickle pizza,
yeah,
a
mac and
buffalo
cheese,
chicken, and
yeah.
like a party bread. And I'm like, cool. Like next time you come in, like get a pizza,
Just be normal.
please.
Yeah.
Like maybe actually try pizza next time. Like that would be cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's extremely weird. Like it's should be very easy for people, but it's absolutely not.
And dude, he's always got an idea, and it's like, dude, try this. Come back.
Yeah.
I was
No,
joking
that's
because
how
like,
Kevin gets to experience a lot of like the test kitchen stuff.
How many like prototype pizzas never make it to the menu? Like you work on something and you're just
No,
kinda
it's,
like,
I mean, I kind of like know what's gonna work. So
Yeah.
it's like if I'm fucking with something, like there's a version of it that will work. Like there's not a lot of misses. Like I don't.
it's just fine tuning it to make
Yeah,
sure
it's like are we, you know, how are we assembling these toppings? What's going on first? Like the flavors work, the ingredients work. Like
yeah.
you kind of, after you've made, you know, thousands of pizzas, you kind of know like.
Dude, the
All right,
pizza
cool.
connoisseur, man.
Yeah.
so Shane, does pineapple go on pizza?
I mean, dude, I'll eat pineapple on pizza if there's some ham, but it's not like my preferred go-to.
Yeah, because that's a hot
You need enough
debate.
salt. As long as there's enough salt, it's great on pizza. If it's just like pineapple alone on pizza, it's fucking weird.
Oh yeah. But like the Hawaiian, you know, like the Hawaiian pie.
Just
It's
add
like,
enough salt. Add
Yeah.
enough salt to balance out the pineapple. You're good to go. Great, cool.
Dude, water, dough, and salt and Hawaiian peppers. I mean, pineapple, like this is pizza gems I'm not used to thinking I'm getting here.
so what's your go-to pizza?
I mean, dude, I got like a meat lovers over there, so that's like I'm just always thinking like protein. Even though like I like made a pizza last night with my girlfriend, like we got with like the dough and
You
like
made one.
I made one, dude. The dough is the hardest part. Like
Did
I'm
you,
like
did
I'm
you
like a-
buy a dough from like the grocery store?
Trader Joe's, $1.69.
Trader Joe's dough. All right. So that's gonna be mediocre.
It
what
was.
what do you do for cheese?
We did mozzarella, but it was like the big slice one, so we would just like kind of
Like the
flop it on
fresh
there.
mozz or like more like the drier,
I
sliced
mean, I would
mozz?
assume fresh mozz,
like
'cause
the fresh
it's
mozz ball?
not like the little balls. It was like a big piece and it was like sliced up into a bunch.
Was
of
it wet?
It was wet.
Yeah.
Fresh
Yeah.
mozz. You, at
Fresh
least
mozz,
you did
yep.
you did good there.
All right, so big clumps of that, and then I just threw a bunch of you know, whatever I had in the fridge meat wise. I mean, like a little chicken.
Now, how'd you bake it at home?
Oven for. I don't know.
Do you have like a pizza stone or do you just do it on a pan?
So it was like a cookie sheet, and so it kind of came out like a square pizza for me. Like my girlfriend did the bigger tray, so
Yeah,
hers came
no,
out
home
normal.
pan style are always better at home. It's just
Yeah.
easier, especially with like the lower temp that you're gonna bake at home. The way to cheat it, like you kind of have to crank your oven up as hot as it will possibly go. The first thing, so if you're buying store-bought dough, this is now just turning into just pizza lessons.
Dude, I'm like,
But-
Hey, you're gonna learn
my
from a
pizza
pro.
listening,
Yeah.
taking notes. Like,
So if you're buying store-bought dough, what people will never do is you'll pull it right out of the fridge, you'll stretch it out, you'll throw it right, you'll make it, you throw it in the oven.
Mhm.
Let that dough warm up. Like let that dough sit out, get all the way to room temp. It's gonna be more pliable, it's gonna bake better, everything about it's gonna be better.
okay.
You know, it's like you don't want your dough to ever be cold when you're baking it. Like it just won't work out as well. A lot of that dough's proofed super shitty. It's designed to sit there for a few days. So like no store-bought dough is gonna be that awesome. Your
Mhm.
best bet is to find like a local pizza shop. Like I'll sell people dough balls. Like come in
Really?
and it's
Okay.
like, all right, just come in, buck a ball, whatever. Just
Yeah.
I'm making plenty of money on it. It's okay. If I'm making money, it's
Side
fine.
hustles at the pizza
Yeah, no,
place.
so it's find a local pizza shop that you like their dough
Yeah.
and see if they'll sell you dough balls. And all right, cool, then you're good to go. And other than that, it's so your home oven, crank that shit up as hot as it'll go.
Are you gonna keep it in as long, or is you you're
Just
gonna
keep an
eyeball
eye.
it?
Yeah, every home oven's so different that you can't ever say like times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because home ovens like, oh, it says 500.
You
Good
don't know
luck
unless you
ever
got a
actually touching it.
thermometer.
Yeah. So get good dough or just make some. Dough is so easy. It's incredibly easy to make, but I get buying it's easier, but you're better off almost just,
Yeah.
buy from a shop. Buy from a shop. It's simple.
I got the cheese right at the start.
You got the cheese right. You
So-
figured it out.
what
Whose
kind of
turned
pizza?
out better?
Oh, hers for sure. This is like my second time making pizza, and it was like I was just happy it kind of resembled pizza at the end, and it tasted like
It was a circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, dude, it was like
Square pie.
oblong, square,
This actually looks better than most. Where's this from? Where's this pizza you brought? from?
Paisanos on 4th Street.
Oh.
Whoa,
Paisanos.
All right.
So we'll see if Paisanos can hang.
it's kind of cold right now.
It's fine.
I had a lot of anxiety
Moved up
about getting him
pizza's
this
okay.
pizza. I wasn't sure if it was going to be up to snuff. He goes to conventions, man. This is
So let's
Doesn't
talk
matter.
about it. What's on that pizza? What are the fans missing out on right
The
now?
meat pie, it looks like there's sausage, beef, pepperoni, ham. They make their dough there. They bake it on screens, which is like kind of a, whatever. Could do better, but dough's actually not bad.
what about the crust? They offered garlic like something, and I was like, no,
Garlic dip for the crust or garlic like brushed on it?
that.
I mean, it'd be fine either way. All they're gonna
Okay.
do is probably most likely they're just brushing garlic butter on the crust after the bake
Right.
or before the bake. Either way works. But I mean, this is like a standard there's nothing wrong with this pizza. Like if this is like your go-to,
It's
every day-
close. It's cheap.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally fine.
Perfect.
Totally fine. This is about as good as Florida pizza gets. Florida, for the most part, makes trash pizza, except for there's a handful of OG East Coast dudes that'll come down here and open up just killer shops because they just know they can come and sit on the beach and make way more money than they can make.
Dude, peach
And super
pizza is huge
competitive
here. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's do I try to do that at some point just to live on the beach? It's like
Dude,
bail
if it
and
just
open pizza.
floats the place you want to keep going down here. You just come by and just check on it, have someone run it for you and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You could go into that after insurance. You can go into Ohio pie, Florida, I guess.
There we
but-
go. Extended branch.
Florida pie.
I got all these pizza gems now. I know how to make it.
It doesn't
It
work
could
the same.
work. It could work. That could be the first franchise.
You guys got to start doing this on all the podcasts. Just whoever's an actual in-person guest, they need to bring you I don't know, a za for him to just kind of,
Bring me the pie.
yeah.
No, this is completely if it's your pizza night pizza, you're golden. This is all you need. It's better than any trash ass chain like Papa John's, Domino's,
Domino's.
whatever the fuck.
Dude, Papa
Domino's
John's is canceled.
Papa John's got canceled
I'm pretty sure.
recently.
They canceled Papa John.
Oh yeah. Papa
Yeah.
got canceled.
Papa
Yeah.
got canceled.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I'm
what's-
waiting for mine, but yeah.
What's your go-to shitty pizza? Out of the chains? What's your go-to place?
Dude, we have a drive-through Domino's across the street, and the brownies are never good. The Cinnabons are never good. They do pasta there. I don't know if I would ever get that.
No.
It just that it's kind of if you get McDonald's during the day when you're not even really hungry, but you're sober and you're just kind of you're never stoked about it after. You're I probably should have got something else.
I didn't need that. Yeah.
Never a good
Instant
decision.
regret.
Yeah.
I actually
Domino's
saw-
is fine, though. So Domino's at least does a really good job with the order process and everything. It's an enjoyable process. You're ordering in the app. It's oh, Steve is
It's-
making my pizza.
It's
right
interactive.
now.
You see it going.
Oh, it's going through the
yeah.
oven. It's got to bake for 4 more minutes. Then, oh, Sarah's cutting my pizza, and then, oh, Dave is driving my pizza to my house right now. This is so cool. I can watch it along. It's they're better at the tech than they are pizza for sure. The pizza no longer sucks completely. It's at least adequate. But there's still probably something better that you could eat overall. Down here, get a Publix sub, and it's
Oh,
a
dude.
1,000 times better meal than any Domino's pizza.
The people that work in the deli though are the saddest people in the store.
It depends. So the Publix sub experience is either
What kind of pub sub? You got a chicken tender sub, right?
well, either chicken tender or I'll just go turkey roast beef with
Yeah.
that peppercorn mayo sauce. You ever had that? That pours that sauce.
Yeah.
So it's either like a cold sub with that or the chicken tender. The fact that the giant chicken tender sub at Publix, like a whole one is like $8. It's like the most food you could ever
You
get
get
for
a drink
$8.
and a tray and everything, dude. And like they used to like toss it in buffalo or whatever sauce you
Yep.
want. I mean, it's like gourmet Subway. It's fantastic.
Subway, all-time worst food next to Papa John's, probably.
Yeah, that
Kevin, have you had Publix? Have you ever
we
had a
went
Publix sub?
we were in Fort Myers in February. We went to Publix, but again, commenting on the people at Publix, we were waiting in line behind some weirdos, and I think we just got some cold cuts and called it a day. Anna's had it though. I mean, she knows what it's about. But
They're solid. It's like, I don't know, you kind of take it for granted just growing up here. It's just kind of like, oh, it's a pub sub, but I guess it's like the destination
It's
stop.
special for me because I don't get it often. And
Dude, your pizza's gonna be special for me whenever I get up there.
one of these
well,
years-
there was a chain. It was called White Hen because I'm from Chicago, and it was just kind of like a 7-Eleven kind of spot, you know. And they had the best sandwiches. I mean, granted, we were probably dumb high school kids, but like you talk to anybody from Chicago, if they remember White Hen, they will always comment on the sandwiches. So it's
fuck White Hen, dude. Portillo's forever.
well, it's different. Yeah, Portillo's.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
guys.
I literally just housed the big beef.
yeah, I know. And you
Fuck
sent me
with
that
Portillo?
text.
Never been. I got friends from Chicago that
Yo.
are just like, oh, dude, the dogs.
Kevin,
It's not that. It's
Elder's
listen.
guy.
It's not so. It's not the same. I think because it used to
It's
be.
a
I think
watered down version.
no.
No,
It used to be better years ago, and then they started. You know, just the big chain, and they're all over the place now. The quality. I mean, I don't think it tastes like it used to, but the beef is phenomenal. You know, if you just, I mean, because that's the thing. Like when I moved out to Cleveland, like they don't have Italian beef out here. Like, what the hell is that? You know, they're like, what is giardiniera? Like, you know, it's
What do you mean?
it's
you used it on a pizza special and everyone was super confused.
yeah. I went to a restaurant. I ordered a sandwich and I was like, oh, you know, can I get hot peppers? They're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, and I asked, I was like, is that giardiniera? She looked at me like she'd never heard that word before. And she's like, we have these. And she pulled out these like, you know, little sweet, you know, bell peppers, whatever. I'm like, no, just
You're
don't even
insulted.
put them on. It's fine. So yeah, we'll like smuggle home giardiniera when we go to Chicago when we come back. But no, you definitely got to get Portillo's experience. You get a big beef, get the onion rings, get a chocolate cake shake, you know, call it a day.
Yeah, well, and so they have the crinkle fries. You can get the cheese sauce for the fries. Cheese sauce also not bad. Dipping a little big beef in the cheese sauce.
Yeah.
You get that little like beef and cheddar vibe. But no, the big beef is like an all-time sandwich. It's like it's legendary.
Just like how many calories are we looking at here?
Oh, it's 4 digits. It's got a comma, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's got a comma, guaranteed. It's definitely yeah. It's you and Craig would enjoy some big beef post training as I go refeed it. Not pre-training in the heat.
Craig is like deceptively like we'll be at like a group setting eating a bunch of food, right? And then like everyone's talking, having a good time, and then like you're like digging into your food like as you're talking, and then you just look over and he didn't talk the entire time and just ate the whole thing. Like he's always does that. No vegetables, but he'll
that's
everything
weird.
else.
Looking at Craig, you would never guess that
Hey,
ever.
look at
Were you out with us that night after the Kern?
Yes. I just saw the picture the other day, the legendary TD picture.
No, but we ended yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shane
God.
Shane is in the background.
I'm
of that
photobombing
picture.
in the
Yeah, but we went bar hopping, and I think we were gonna end up going to like Dan Bell's Airbnb or whatever. And we're all walking, and Craig just sat down in the street corner. He's like, "Fuck this, I'm done walking."
That happened twice that trip.
And I think
So-
someone just had to come pick him up, like
We
you know.
did. Yeah. So the way I talked to Sean about it, he was just like, it's our coach. He was just basically like, yeah, Craig trained for like 16 weeks to do one thing for 10 seconds. Really good. He's completely specialized in that one thing now. So it's like walking, I guess, was just off the list. But yeah, so that night we were walking around and like he just parked it. It's like, I'm done. And then we had to go pick him up. And the next day we went down to La Jolla and we went down this big hill going down. It was like Dan was leading the pack, but he's sweating bullets too. So we go all the way down. So that's easy. But coming back up, Craig got halfway, just sat down again, dude, like a child. It's like, pick me up. So we had to pick him up twice in like 2 days on that trip.
He's like, "Fuck it, I'll just live here."
Dude,
I'm moving.
Also-
it was worse than death.
If it is possible, drop that image from that night right here in the video if we can possibly do that. If not, we'll put a link in the description to post of it, because it's a legendary picture of a very large part of Thomas Davis.
It's the
I don't
biggest
think
ass I've ever seen.
that was the first time I'd ever met him. And so I was like just in the warm-up room at that meet. He just came walking through, and like you see everyone on Instagram or whatever. And like I've been around big people, but I was like, shit. Like he came through the curtain, he was like this much wider than me. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's larger than life, man.
Dude, huge.
Oh, yeah, Brianni's face right there.
Me doing it twice.
That's the one.
Yeah.
There we go. But that was an all
I don't know if he drinks a whole lot, because he was hammered that night.
And also TD, it's like, all right, you're a gigantic motherfucker. Like, you don't walk in many places and someone can just eclipse you. Like, TD just eclipses you.
Huge, huge.
Yeah, because he's every bit as tall as you as well.
I remember I gave him a hug after the showdown meet this last year and stuff. He showed up. He was probably hungover.
Your arms go halfway around him.
Literally, that was the thing. I was like, you just stop, like someone just like stopped you. I was like, oh, I just can't fit any more around.
But that's always so humbling, because like usually for me, when I'm around other people, I feel like the biggest person in the room. And I know for you, you're fucking gigantic. I met you in person. My cousin was with me when you joined the team. It's like, dude, this dude is the biggest guy I've ever seen. So it's always humbling when you're around someone that's actually bigger than you, and TD and Julius, whenever they're together, it's like
he's coming up to
holy
the convention
shit
here in Tampa, like in the next few months or whatever. And Craig and I were going to go up to him. That's probably like, it's like you check off these like freak show, like 8th wonder of the world size people and stuff. Like I've seen Brian Shaw in person. I've seen Thor in person at World Strongest Man in Bradenton a couple of years ago. Seen TD. I just got to check off Julius, and I've seen the largest human beings we got to offer.
All right, now, are you going to put on wraps just to outsquat Craig on principle?
Dude, so
wait, is Craig still in the room?
No. So there was like a big TV with a picture. Yeah. So
gotcha. I was gonna say you should have him jump in on this.
Oh, dude, he wanted to. I told him about it, but he worked out yesterday. But at some point, I've worn wraps before. You know what I mean? I've squatted 900 pounds in wraps. I think the hardest thing for me, and like you probably know this, Kevin, but it's just like having someone there to like wrap you all the time, and like that's a whole stressful thing in itself, just to make sure someone commits to those sessions. And then I want to say the timing of it at meets is kind of like a little bit, you don't want someone to bobble. It's one like more thing to worry about, where it's just like sleeves is kind of the trend right now. I'm kind of good at that one, so like you push that as much as you can, and then but at some point, yeah, for sure. I mean, Andrew Haas is about to do that American Pro, and he's about to do the silliest number. He's going to be somewhere probably north of 2,500 pounds. So it's,
if he stays together,
you know what I mean? But everything's looking like it, but it's like, I think that's kind of like, I was talking to Craig the other day, and I'm like, the difference between Dan and Craig is super strong, but Dan is like a different planet. Like that's almost the same thing. He's got like almost like 100 to 150 pounds on my total. I mean, it's just like, and I'm number 2 compared to him. So it's like, he's just a whole different, realm.
Right. Yeah, I mean the wraps, like back to the commitment thing. It is hard, because first of all, you have to find someone that you can trust, and you have to basically be able to just sit there and know that they're putting them on exactly how you want them.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that they don't give a fuck. They're like, just put them on, crank them, whatever. And then there's other people like, I'm very, specific. Like I want them this many up, this many down, this way crossed, whatever. But then you're sitting there getting wrapped, and like, I get stressed out when they're like, okay, you're 3 out, you're 2 out. You're like, fuck, dude, are you gonna have enough time to do this?
Well, you don't want to be early either. Like the worst thing is like, all right, you're done. And then it's like the guy that's about to go before you, they're still loading his weight. You know what I mean? You got to sit for like 2 minutes. God forbid something happens where he drops it or something.
Yeah, if they spill the bar, then you got to take your wraps off and start. It's a nightmare sometimes.
Cool. You're numb from the knee down. Go put 1,000 pounds on your back. Have fun.
So the first meet I did with Dan was like right before COVID. It was March 2019 or 2020, and it was my last wrap meet. And I had just gotten wrapped, and the guy before me was in multiply, and he was squatting down. He was coming up, and he like projectile vomited like on the judge and all over the floor and everything, and like it's all over the place, you know what I mean? And so I'm next, and I'm wrapped, and I'm standing up, and they're kind of like not really doing. There's no.
Like, is this dude squatting or are we cleaning this up?
Literally, they're
Or,
like, they're not
what?
sure what's going on, and I'm like, I'm just doing this. Like, I'm like, let's fucking go. I squat wide, like whatever. I'll squat over the puke.
Right.
And the judge is like, "Are you sure about that?" And this old salty ref that I know from around here, Tom O'Donnell, he's like, "This is powerlifting. This ain't the prom. Let him get going." And so I went over and squatted 900 pounds for the first time over a pile of puke. So
Hell yeah.
that's my initiative to get those fucking things off my legs. They're not
Yeah.
fun.
Well, also too, like back to the wraps. I mean, like when did you first start, fucking around with wraps in competition?
Probably 20. I mean, I did one raw meet, and then probably for the next like year and a half, I did all wraps. So 2017, 2018, a little bit of 2019. But I was using like you're saying, like other people rapping. Like I used to have like my ex-girlfriend rap me, and
Yeah.
like I would basically like pull it myself, and I'd be like she would just hold it in place.
Or like, or
I
guide
basically
it. Yeah.
self-rapped,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I haven't had like a really. We had Andre Milanichev do a seminar here back in October, November.
You have him rap you?
Yeah, and so that I like to talk about the people like that are super duper strong. It's like they're outliers. You know what I mean? Like whatever they do doesn't work for everyone else. He wrapped them backwards. So like you wrap like out of the
Yeah.
knee. He wrapped in. Specifically said wrap in. He didn't put chalk on your leg. He like had like a gallon of water and like got his hands all wet, got the wraps wet, and then he put them on. So your leg's soaking with water. He's wrapping your legs backwards, and there's no like pattern or like anything kind of consistent about it. It's just fucking tight. You have someone holding your foot, and he's just ripping your leg off every single time.
Yeah.
Tightest wrap I've ever had on, but it was like it wasn't even. Like either side, like this side was a little tighter than the other. Like it was just like.
And he doesn't understand what you're telling him too. He's not understanding what you're saying. Did you hear me?
No, that's what Andre is a difficult guy to communicate with. For
Yeah.
sure.
He was super nice. I mean, he like gave me a hug within like the first like 5 seconds. I was like, "Hi."
No,
Like,
nicest guy ever, but like,
yeah.
it's not exactly a free flowing conversation.
No. A lot of gestures, a lot of points.
He's like, "I'm gonna kill you." No, actually, yeah.
There was a guy that used to train at the gym when I was still in Chicago, and I was wrapping my knees one day. He walked. I'd never seen this guy before. He just gigantic Ukrainian guy. He walks in. He looks at me. Goes, "Who wraps your knees?" I'm not even gonna try and do the accent because I'll just butcher it. But
Dude, come on.
the guy looked like Ivan Drago, like from Rocky. And I'm like looking up at him as I'm wrapping my knees. He goes, "I will wrap you." Takes the knee wrap that I just cranked on the wrap roller, fucking throws it. The whole wrap goes like rolling across the gym, and I was like, "This motherfucker!" Like, because I was like busting my ass. Yeah. I think I tripled 800 for the first time, like after he wrapped me. They were the gnarliest wraps I've ever had on. And so I was like, cool. Like, do you want to wrap me at my next meet? And that's when I squatted 900 for the first time, which was fucking sick. But then he tried taking advantage of me. Like my next meet, he made me pay him like an absurd amount of money just for him to
wrap your legs.
Yeah. At the Arnold that he was already going to be at. And I was like, yeah you're
Ukrainian extortion.
Basically.
I was going to say you made a boy out of this, but it doesn't sound like it.
No, I got hustled, but I was like, all right, cool.
Hustle.
You got a big squat out of it. It's okay.
Yeah. I think just talking to you, I think, for a lot of people that don't know you, you're obviously like a gentle giant, like you said, you play Pokemon, you're stoner, you like cats, but like when you're on the platform and you're getting under that big weight, or you're getting ready to do your last deadlift, you're going for that record total or whatever you're doing, like where does your brain go? Like where does your mind go in those moments?
Shut it off guy? You a violent guy?
I think that's a little bit of both. Like I'm like a calm, even demeanor guy because I think I'm able to like just kind of let little bursts of pressure out like that, like throughout the week, either at the gym or, at a meet, especially, I mean, that's when you let it all out. And so I think it's just kind of knowing when to just freak out for a little bit, you know what I mean? Ham it up, you get everyone into it, you're screaming and yelling, you're kind of talking shit to like an invisible person in front of you, like as you're lifting the weight, like whatever gets you going. But I definitely you kind of turn your brain off for a little bit and you just kind of ride the wave. It's fun.
So you don't necessarily go to like a dark, scary place.
No, I mean I've done like I think everyone's listened to like that like meaningful song to them or something like that.
Right,
really
right.
After like they try and like get really worked up, and like that's good for like I'll go, but like it's emotionally draining. Like if you do that all day, it's like, especially if you go to a long meet, like 6-7 hours.
Yeah, that's your third attempt, and
Yeah, like you're
the
fucked
most
after
important
that.
lift,
So
yeah.
like I think that's the biggest trick, is just knowing when to. Same thing like, you know, we were talking about with my training. Like I don't touch heavy weight very often. It's like you do it when you need to do it, and just trust that it's going to be there.
You're always like really good at pacing yourself like through training. Like
Yeah,
you building up in a linear way, heading into your into your actual heaviest weights for your meet prep. And then the meet days, it's like you always usually perform. Like it's you kind of pace yourself throughout the day to where
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. You kind of keep going throughout it. It's like you're solid across the board. It's not like I'm gonna get super amped for squats and then like I hope I can bench something. We'll see,
Yeah.
whatever. It like you kind of stay nice and steady and stay strong throughout the whole day instead of shooting it all up front.
Well, yeah, and you seem to, it looks like in your prep you stay on the leash, right? And then at the meet you really just they let you go, and you're, and I think there was one time I was with Ed Cohen at Lance's gym in Chicago, and we were talking, and one of the things that always stuck with me that when he said this that day was, you only have so many 1 rep maxes in your, in your life, right? And I think you see these people that are meet prepping and they're constantly hitting these gigantic numbers in prep. And like you said, we don't see you do that. You're hitting percentages for reps, and then all of a sudden here's this monster, lift. And I mean that
Well, in the prep, it's massive weights, but just for you, the percentages
Yeah.
are crazy. But it's like, all right, cool. When you're doing these crazy sets of, in the 700 and 800 pound range for
Sets.
5+ reps,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. That's
I think it's just kind of like, so Sean has been programming for me. I mean, he's been my coach probably for like the last like 5 or 6 years. And he's like, we're talking about like, being a nerd, like he's a big nerd as far as like, he keeps everything kind of tracked as far as like, when I usually get hurt, or, just what I've performed optimally, anything like that. And like, he just kind of tweaks the program every single time. So it's like the confidence of just knowing that, like in my head, like if I just do everything on this program really easy, even if it's not like, I mean, it's like it's difficult. Like it's not like it's easy work, but like as long as I hit everything on this easy, like I'm guaranteed, like in my head, like I'm gonna hit every single number I want to hit. Like there's no doubt in my mind. I write everything down on a whiteboard, look at it for 16, 15 countdown weeks all the way to the meet and everything. And you just kind of convince yourself it's gonna be there when you need it to be there. You know what I mean? Like you said, you only got so many, so I don't want to waste them.
How long has he been your coach?
Instagram or something. Yeah.
How long has he been your coach?
Like I said, probably like the last like 5-6 years. And then for Craig, he's probably been coaching him for I don't know, probably about a year less than that. And he's brought me from literally 500 pounds of my total. So from 1847 up to 2347, and Craig, I don't know, like 1890 to 2292. So I mean,
So clearly he knows what he's doing.
charges $10 a week. So I mean, it's really, really cheap. And he's somebody you don't really know about on Instagram, but his proof's in the pudding. His stuff works.
Is he taking on new clients? Is this like a great time to
So
give
they
him some
do
free advertisement?
So we're at the gym right now. They have an app where it's a program automated app and everything else like that, and they tweak it and stuff for you and stuff. So if you're looking to get some kind of programming, that'd be the place to go too.
now does training with Craig help? Because you guys are kind of like the Florida Bash Bros down here, basically.
So like
you can really kind of push each other, but you guys also are super good friends.
Oh, he's my boy.
Like
Yeah. He's my best friend, and it's like we I got a pretty good squat and a pretty good bench, but it's like he does way more than me on both of those lifts. So every single week I come in here.
Those deadlifts though.
Well, that's the one day a week I get, but it's like you're just talking about, it's humbling being around big guys. Like every single week I'm not the guy that's squatting the most. I'm not the guy he's impressing me every single week, so I'm trying to catch him. So it's almost kind of just like that chip on my shoulder of like, all right, I'm fucking not doing shit compared to Craig right now. Like it kind of just pushes you, and then we show up at the meet and it's just me and him are the two biggest squats if Dan's not there every single time. So
dude, it's stressful watching him compete, because there was the one meet where I think it was at the Kern where he hit that world record squat, but he almost bombed out on deads.
So that's happened, I mean, probably like the last 3 meets in a row. Sorry, Craig. It's like so at the Kern, he popped it off the ground before it was up down movement, no lift, took it again, got it, and then he missed his third. At the showdown last year, he timed out on his opener.
Yeah.
Dropped his second, so he was literally good. He had the biggest subtotal ever raw, like bigger, broke JP's like, it's like 1,600 pounds raw. And he gets his third and the whole gym blew up or whatever. It was the same thing with his squat. He got his opener, missed his second on depth and went up to 1,008, got that 2-1. Everybody blows up. He's the most stressful, fun person to watch lift. And
exactly. Yeah. Like you're rooting for him, but you're watching, you're like, holy shit, don't fuck this up right now, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
that was his last meet he did. He missed depth. He got his opener, he got his second, but he got called on depth and he just kept going up and up and up. And he squatted 1025 on his third. So,
but he's also a guy too, where it's like, he's going through that stressful, experience in the meet, and he seems calm as shit in the warm-up room too,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's something with how we kind of train as far as it's kind of like the tempo or the atmosphere we get. But it's really just a confidence in the program, man. I think him and I have been with Sean for so long, and just if we do everything that we have to do on, it's like a checklist. As long as we do everything on that program, I'm getting what I want at the meet. So
it's also you guys are always there. You guys kind of like have each other to kind of bullshit with and joke
Oh,
around.
yeah.
You guys are always having fun, even during the stressful meet day. It's like
and that
you
makes
guys are still having fun, and then after the meets, you guys really have fun. That's like Craig's got that bottle of Henny.
The Hennessy's ready right away.
He waits 3 months to get that thing. And I think that's the whole point. I mean, like, we're doing this because it's fun. At the end of the day, like, I'm saying, like, I'm getting some time away from the gym now because I'm kind of beat up. But I mean, at the same time, we do this for a reason. We do this because we can blow off steam, or it's just something we enjoy to do. So why show up to the meet and like be a fucking grouchy asshole with your hoodie on and headphones on for 8 hours during the day? You're not going to make no friends. You're not going to have a good meet, and you're going to just really not enjoy that day. So
Absolutely.
Now, since you're taking some time off for injuries, are you enjoying your time off? Is it giving you more Pokemon time? Or
dude, I'm shredding it right now. I just finished the Pokedex in this last game I've been working on for probably like 3 or 4 months, and it's cool, dude. You know what I mean? I think it's everything in balance. I think when I moved to Colorado, I literally wanted to get away from lifting. I wanted to just kind of get away, enjoy some other things, but it really just distance makes the heart grow fonder. It makes you appreciate what you have and what you want to really put time into. So just recharges your batteries and gets you going. I've had my best meets off after big layoffs. So if I end up not doing this one this fall and I wait till the spring, I'm expecting to have a good ass meet because I've been rested up. So
I mean, that's always like, I think way too many people take lifting way too seriously, right? Like life will still always matter more, and if you neglect your life, lifting is going to suffer.
If you're within the
same, right?
first
Like,
2 to 3 years of competing and you're like really into it, it's hard to convince somebody of that, because I was that person. I think we've all been that person, but it's like after you're in it for a little bit and like you kind of just like you get it, you've been hurt before, you come back from that, you've had good training days, but you just kind of like, it's ebbs and flows, you know what I mean? You just enjoy the process. If you're just stressed about it the whole time, like, the fuck's the point? You can be playing a Pokemon at home, having a good
time. Smoking weed and playing Pokemon, yeah.
Absolutely.
Just hoping your cat wants to hang out with you for just a few minutes at the end of the day.
Don't throw up on the carpet again.
You got anything else?
Yeah. I mean, we got a few more. This is kind of a weird one, but do you have any, rituals when it comes to lifting or Pokemon or watching cartoons, like unwashed singlet, dirty underwear?
I always wear,
if you're watching cartoons, do you have a special cereal you like to eat? Like,
so I guess this would kind of be like a weird one. Like I'm obviously Pokemon's kind of like an obscure thing. I'm really into like obscure sports like arm wrestling or like sumo wrestling. And so sumo wrestling just started
you watching the World Games, dude?
So those aren't actually the best sumo wrestling. So like it's sumo goes on every other month. There's 6 tournaments a year, and each tournament lasts for like 15 days. So every day you have one match, and then whoever has the best score at the end of the 15 days is the winner. It's all in Japanese. I don't really know what they're saying at all, but I just like watching it. And I wrestled in high school, college. Like I'm into like, that kind of like just combat sports stuff. And so yeah, I'll like on a Saturday, Sunday, like that's when that starts up. Like I start the morning, go for my walk.
Find your obscure website to stream
YouTube, NATO Sumo. And I'll go out for my walk, rip my bowl, just kind of clear my head, wake up a little bit, get a nice little thing of some coffee, black coffee, and sit on the couch and watch sumo wrestling.
Now, have you thought about getting into sumo wrestling?
Dude, so like I said, I wrestled in college. Like, I'm kind of like
Craig could probably be an elite.
Craig has good shape for it. I'd have to fill out a little more, probably like another like 50 or 60 pounds. All those guys are like 350 plus 400 pounds.
That's like their daily routine. They like eat then like nap immediately after, and that's kind of like
It's
their training, right? Is like trying to put the weight on.
I got into sumo wrestling over COVID, and so everyone's quarantined. You're just looking up weird shit online, and like sumo, there was a big Georgian guy from like the like Eastern European Georgia. He was a big muscly white dude, and he was a sumo wrestler. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like that. And then I just started kind of getting into it, and you learn about like the guys in sumo wrestling where literally all they do is eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train. And over COVID, like I was getting ready for the showdown meet, I had a gym in my garage. I had a combo rack, weights, dumbbells, everything else. And so I literally worked at home. I worked from home. I ate, slept, trained. It's like I was living like a sumo lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I got into that a little bit. Like it's like you kind of admire it. It's like a pilgrimage a little bit for those guys. Like that's all they do. And
Now,
like,
do you have a guy?
Yeah, like who's your favorite
Like,
sumo wrestler? Can you pronounce his name?
Taka Keisho. He's 5'7". He's been as big as 410 pounds. He's like 366 right now. He's
So like roughly Craig, give or take. Yeah.
Craig's like 5'9", but they call him the hamster because like he literally is like a straight up circle dude. But like he goes out there and he just however he hits, like he just gets low and like he's just really good at thrusting and just kind of getting the guys out of the little circle. But yeah, he's my boy, Taka Keisho.
All right, we're gonna.
What other goofy ass sports did you find over COVID?
I'm pretty into arm wrestling. Arm wrestling's like
It's kind of like the given, like meathead dude. Like
yeah, it gets pretty intense. Like you watch the stuff on like the WAL or like they stream a lot of it on YouTube and stuff. I mean,
and there's weirdly like more money in that.
A lot of
in
money.
Powerlifting. It's like it's way more. It seems more obscure. I don't know if it's just we're in powerlifting world, but
I think it's been around for. I mean, I don't know if it's been around longer, but it's just kind of like everyone. It's like someone asks you like, what do you bench? It's like everyone arm wrestles at the lunch table in middle school. You know what I mean? Like it's just a relatable thing. Yeah. So it's kind
of fuck, marry, kill.
Oh
Dan Bell,
okay.
Craig, Jordan Wong, all the Florida boys.
Oh man, those are my boys. Jeez.
Well, I feel like you got to marry Craig because that's your boy, right?
So I'm gonna have to. All right. I don't have a good reason to kill Jordan, but like I'll kill Jordan. Fuck Dan because Dan's always a good time, and then marry Craig because he's just been my boy for like years.
Yeah,
you can rely on him.
And you guys can still fuck because you're married.
Here we go, right?
Or
He's
maybe not.
boy.
I mean, sometimes that happens. Have you experienced any weird Florida shit? There's all like the Florida.
I feel like Florida man's like
Florida man jokes and
like.
So I think it's if you don't know of a Florida man, that's where like you might be the Florida man yourself. Like,
so I'm in like
no, I don't. It seems like that just doesn't exist. But not just you then. Yeah.
This may like piss off some other people in Florida, but like if you're from Florida, you get it. Like I'm in kind of like a nice part of Florida. Like Tampa area is like it's a pretty like decent spot. If you go like east a couple, like an hour and a half
further, you get off the water.
Polk County, yeah, that's like trailer parks and like it's not good. Yeah,
there's a little amphetamines, like a lot
yeah, that's like the meth capital. Like it's fucking bad, and it's those are all your rednecky people and like people you're gonna hear about like wrestling gators or like I don't know, just weird shit like that. But Florida's pretty tame, dude. Like it's just
you see that video?
A few miles off the ocean, just amphetamines and gators.
Did you see that video going around? The guy who's catching the gator in his driveway with his garbage can.
No, I saw one.
It's the wildest shit.
He thought like he dumped it in the garbage or like.
He like tipped the garbage can over on its side, lifted up the lid, so it was basically like a mouth, and basically like,
swooped him in there.
Swooped him in it, picked it up. I mean, and I don't know what he did after that, and like rolled it to the end of the street. Hopefully, rolled it somewhere safe. But
I saw one the other day of some dude like just bashing a gator over the head with like a frying pan, like it like.
Oh, that was that. That
lunge at him, and he just was like, "Nah," and just. Immediately just turn around, but
yeah, but it was random. It was unprovoked. He just walked towards the gator and just smacked the shit out of it.
Maybe that was the clipped one. I feel like I saw him. There's like I don't know, dude. Like you see those TikTok little clips, they're all 15 seconds. Like you don't really know what's going on. You just get the dopamine rush. Like Florida's a safe place. It gets a bad rap. You hear about the crazy like Australia. I'm sure Australia is like not like some kind of like shark infested like gator paradise.
Well, you're just here surrounded by tourists. It's like
I'm in the cushy part. Yeah, the cushy, safe Pinellas County.
You got Tampa on one side, you got the Clearwater on the other side. You're just kind of protecting St. Pete, protecting it from the bottom. You're all good.
Retirement capital of the world, probably.
You're the most handsome man in powerlifting. What's your inbox like?
It's a lot of dudes, but not like gay dudes, like just kind of like, hey bro, like
Dude,
in a lame way, like I'll have kids like message me and like it's like we all like looked up to somebody at one point. Like when I got into powerlifting, it was like Brandon Allen was the man, you know what I mean? I got to meet him at the showdown that one year, which was cool. And so like when I have kids like message me like that, like they're just like you could tell they're just kind of like trying to just like, you know, hey man, I look up to you, just like acknowledge me or something. Like it's
Right.
I feel weird even saying that, but it's just like it happens, and I'm like that's kind of cool, you know what I mean? But no chicks.
No, that's what people think. It's like, all right, cool. Lifting in cars, right? Like it's like, oh, you got cool cars, you lift
You're gonna
weights.
get
It's
DMs.
like
dudes.
everyone thinks like, oh yeah, that's what you get for chicks, right? It's like, nope, all dudes.
Yeah.
All dudes every time, doesn't matter. It's
I feel like car guys would probably almost be creepier than like weightlifting
it's
dudes sometimes.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, a lot of very excited high school dudes in my DMs all the time, and it's
Oh, bro.
yeah,
Would
they
you
give me a
suit-
ride, dude.
Would you suit that up?
Yeah. Please, can I get a ride? When? Like, no, actually, that's like a massive liability. I'm not gonna take you in my car 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna kill you, and your parents are gonna sue me. Great, awesome. If I'm not dead, who cares?
Yeah,
If
but
I'm
you
not
might be dead, you know?
Yeah, if I'm dead too, fuck it. Whatever.
Can I rock a piss real quick?
Yeah, well, I mean, we could wrap up.
We're clear.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, if you do coach or if you want to promote your coach, or if there's any way people get a hold of you, you know, now's your time to kind of
anything you want promoted, promote it right now.
drop your sponsors, shout outs.
Shout out obviously to Live Large. You guys clothe me. You guys make me look good. I appreciate you guys big time. Sovereign Powerlifting for any kind of sleeve, you know, powerlifting equipment, wrist wrap, anything like that. Zone smelling salts for any time you want to try and get fired up for a lift. Huff some Zone. And shout out to Sean and Pinellas Barbell, where Craig and I train. If you want any kind of coaching information or anything like that, you can reach out to the Pinellas Barbell page. And there's
We
a
can
link,
drop the link below in the YouTube for this as well too.
and they'll get you right. So tons of sets, but you can do one big squat probably like once or twice a year, so it's worth it.
You're a good dude.
Sheesh, I appreciate both of you guys.
Go rock that piss, man.
Real quick, appreciate you guys.
All right, episode 2 wrap. That's it.